Alright, so today we are going to close out Lesson 3 by going into Part 4. Like we've done before, refocus on what we did in Part 3. What was it that we covered? Why was that important? And what was your greatest takeaway? So looking at battalion structure. Again, what we're looking at here is you have the battalion commander. The battalion commander is directly responsible for the command sergeant major, the battalion executive officer, and then the company commanders. In this case, Alpha Company, Bravo Company, and then if we had other companies, Charlie Company, Delta Company, etc. Alright? The battalion executive officer is directly responsible for managing the staff. So that'd be your S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Whoever is in charge of that staff section would be in charge of any assistants that they had. That's why you see the assistants underneath that. Now the battalion command sergeant major is the highest ranking non-commissioned officer, is directly responsible for the color guard, but they're also responsible for any of the enlisted needs of the units. So, a platoon sergeant would come to them, or a company first sergeant would come to them with issues, and then they would take care of those issues. If you look at the companies, so your Alpha Company commander is in charge of 1st and 2nd platoon. If they had more platoons, then you'd have 3rd platoon and 4th platoon. Normally you don't have any more than 4 platoons in a company. Each platoon, that platoon leader is responsible for squads, right? And so you're going to have 3 to 4 squads depending on how it's set up. So in all these cases, you notice that each level builds on the next, and we are establishing from top down and bottom up what the chain of command is and who has command and control responsibilities. At the end of the day, the battalion commander is the person where all decisions start and stop with, right? They are the one who is responsible for the success or the lack of success of the unit in totality. If we look at a squad, so a squad arrangement is broken into 2 teams, right? So you're going to have your squad leader. Normally that's going to be a staff sergeant. And then you're going to have an Alpha team and a Bravo team. Now, the team leader is going to be a sergeant. Then you're going to have 2 specialists and a private first class. Now, this is an infantry squad. The composition of the squad would be the same at the JCC or the JROTC level, recognizing that, the rank is going to be a little bit different just based on the levels of the organizations. But so, the platoon sergeant is responsible for the squad leaders. The squad leaders are responsible for the team leaders. The team leaders are responsible for their team. So in every case, we have no more than 5 people that they're responsible for at any given time. So let's think about that. Choose the word that best matches the definition below. A subdivision of a military regiment or battalion that constitutes the lowest administrative unit. It is usually under the command of a captain and is made up of at least 2 platoons. If you selected B, company, you're correct. Okay, choose a word that best matches the definition below. Relating to or constituting the part of the military force below officers. If you selected E, enlisted, you are correct. Choose a word that best matches the definition below. Subdivisions of a company-sized military unit, normally consisting of 2 or more squads or sections. The leader is usually a 2nd lieutenant. If you selected A, platoon, you're correct. The word that best matches the definition below. A military unit made up of 2 or more companies or batteries, and a headquarters that is commanded by a lieutenant colonel is the smallest unit to have staff and is administratively self-sufficient. If you selected C, battalion, you're correct. Choose a word that best matches the definition below. The smallest units in the Army, organized, composed of a varying number of personnel, depending on the type of element, and led by a non-commissioned officer. If you selected squad, you're correct. Choose a word that best matches the definition below. A person lower in rank or grade. If you chose subordinate or D, you're correct. The order of persons next in line for an office or rank that is held by another would be succession. A group of people approximating one half of a squad and normally led by a junior non-commissioned officer would be team. Okay, so having covered all of this information and taking a look at the different levels of command, the different positions, the different organization of the units, what are some of the benefits of the chain of command in regards to how it operates over a group or over a team conducting an operation or a mission? In what ways or in what situations can you see the chain of command being useful? Folks, this concludes Lesson 3, Part 4, and we're going to be moving into a new unit and a new lesson for the next stage.